Hey everybody! I just want to give you a sneak peek of these pieces which I need to varnish, but then we'll be going up on Etsy. But give me a shout if you see one that you would like closer pictures of or that you are interested in, and I would be happy to send those to you before I get them listed on Etsy, because sometimes that takes me some time. And here is another one. And then this one I love so much that I'm going to do similar colors on a round one today. And this one I really love, even though I admit that this part right here kind of seems off from the rest of it. But I love it so much I don't even care. But I do, that spot does grab your eye, but I love it. I just love it. And I may add a little bit of my mystery red to it today. I've got the colors lined up right there. And you can see right there is yesterday's pour, still wet, and that right there is the timeout area for the cursed canvas. So that's where it is currently residing, because it's evil and not my friend any longer. Let's see. I can get you a little closer because I shouldn't hopefully have to tilt very much, in which case I won't tilt you off screen when I do. So please, if you have questions about my paint mixing, different techniques I use, please scroll down the video a little bit. You'll see my face. Click on that. It will take you to my homepage. And I have playlists there. I have some starred videos. I've got paint mixing. I'll put chapstick on. And you can find lots of information there, as well as in the video links, my Amazon influencer list of items that I use. I just updated it. I put some new things on it. Unfortunately, some of my products that I really like are Michael's store brand, but I have picked, like this is Iridescent medium, Artist Loft. I have used, there's a Liquitex iridescent medium that is more liquidy, and it comes like in a, what do you call it? Like a, why am I totally blanking on the word? Like a thing like this. But they also have one that comes in a tube, which I'm guessing is near identical to this, because their products are pretty comparative, and I really don't find any difference between them, quite honestly. Ooh, I am glad I did not shake that hard, because the lid to my paint was off. That would have sucked. Oh my God. So this is my Dutch Boy house paint mixed with Floetrol and water. And I have paint mixing video, so please check that out. I do not measure. So if you are looking for specifics, you won't find them from me. You will see how I do it, and I will demonstrate the consistency I like. But as for exact measurements, I don't have any. I would say probably, 60% paint, 30% Floetrol, and then 10% water. But that Floetrol water combo, or those can sometimes be off. Some colors are thicker than other colors. Some brands are thicker than other brands. Sometimes I get a little happy with the Floetrol and just pour with abandon. And so it really, that's just how it is. I should have, okay, now that I'm thinking about it, because I do want silicone in here. I'm gonna put this little look up and see if any of my pour out, if I can get even like, I don't know if I can get any into it. I love how I'm not getting anything. Nothing at all. Beautiful. So what I'm actually going to do is scrape it. If I can lift my paper, which I can't. Oh my God, I'm just a mess. Okay. Let's see, I really do hate losing all this valuable white paint right here. Oh, and the circle I'm painting on is MDF that I do have my friend cut for me. I've got some on the Amazon list that I was able to find on Amazon. Offhand, I can't remember what the pricing was, but it would be a little bit more than I pay, but that's just because I have someone local that gets a whole sheet of MDF and cuts it for me. And I just pay for the whole sheet. So, however, it can vary how many pieces I get, depending on the sizes. Okay. Let me torch out these bubbles. And these MDFs, I do prime with, I use the Dutch Boy white paint to prime. And then I sand the edges, and I did just put on there, finally, I do have a favorite sandpaper that I have actually, it is really hard to find. And I have found it at Menards. And even when I looked on Amazon, the grit that I use, I put on a finer grit because the grit that I use, the 220, was, I don't know if it's like out of stock or you got to order it from a third party, but it costs a lot. So, but it's this sandblast, and I am not getting paid by 3M, although I really should send them this. It's sandpaper that is flexible. I love this stuff. It doesn't tear. It's real easy for, little things like this. Like, I would not want to sand a whole bunch of stuff with it because since it is foldable and stuff, your hand starts to get really hot. So that part's not so great. All right, so I'm going to do a puddle pour about right here and then swipe. So this is a combo of Prussian blue and Payne's gray with some iridescent medium. These are the colors by themselves. Payne's gray is a dark gray with a lot of blue tones. It's a beautiful color. I just realized that one of the colors I was going to use is, I think, the exact same color as that. Yes, I have a little mini version of that same color. So I may actually use some of the true Payne's gray. And this is my mystery red, which I did not use in that other one, so I'm hoping that it doesn't screw it up. This is, I'm gonna call it blush. I feel like calling it Golden Girls because it reminds me of the colors in Florida, like in the 80s. Call it Golden Girls or Miami Vice. Something like that. surprised my parents' house isn't that color instead of all that weird mauve that they have. They hate me complaining about their maroon, mauve, whatever color it is. This is copper. Don't even get me started on their wallpaper. All right, and this is Payne's Gray. And if you're watching, Mom, which I know you're not, sorry, but not sorry. She's actually sick right now, so I highly doubt she is watching me. So feel better, Mom, if you are watching. I don't think she watches me. It is freaking me out, though, because now I know that people that know me watch me. So to all of you people that know me, hi! How are you? We should get together and have coffee. Except for the fact that most of them know I'm a hermit that never leaves the house. Alrighty. To decide how wide. Shoot. I really wanted this like here. I don't know what that is, but I'm afraid it's all right. I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm pausing because I keep looking over at the other one. All right, I'm just gonna go for it. And I'm gonna start a little over halfway. So, backtracking, the white I poured on top is the only paint with silicone. You know what else was interesting with my art show, because I have only sold online one circle, but in person people loved them. So I wonder if it is something that you have to actually see in use to visualize it. I don't know, but because a lot of people haven't online are not real receptive to them. So that's what I wonder, if it's you know, because in person they saw it on a wall, you know, which there's a big difference between seeing something on a wall and versus just seeing a picture of it. And not really a dig on people that do this, because it's totally the cool thing to do. I just don't like it personally because I find it frustrating. Is because you can put your art on in apps that like put them in the room, which is fine if you keep it to scale. But I've seen some where they do it and you think, oh my God, that's the coolest big paint, you know, it's like the size of the king size bed. And then in tiny letters, it'll say 8 by 10 inches. It's like, well, you got my hopes up and now, you know, I'm sad. I'm trying to tilt this down. So I have not done that for any of my art, just mainly for that reason. Probably going to regret doing this. But what is life if not for regrets? Okay. What I'm going to do. Let's see if any of this. Okay. Oh, and I also have something else that I want to admit, that I posted it on my own personal Facebook, and I appear to be the only freak who feels this way. And hopefully you don't blackball me from society, but I saw A Star Is Born last night with Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper, and I did not care for it. And it appears that I might be the only person in the world who didn't like it. So if any of you have seen it and didn't like it, please speak up so I know I'm not alone. It's not that I hated it. I just found it boring and predictable. Mind you, I have not seen the originals, or the original or the other remakes. But it just seemed a sappy romance that was missing something. Like a choppy storyline. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a writer. I'm not a movie reviewer. I just, watch a lot of TV on the couch. But please, there has to be one of you. I've got like 34,000 subscribers. One of you has to feel the same way as me. Please. And then I was like, well, I could sit through it again, and maybe I'm missing something. And then I was like, why would I sit through it again? Just to see, So, maybe it is just me. My husband liked it. I mean, he didn't think it was, the best movie he's ever seen, but he liked it. Whereas at one point I was like, when is this over? And Lady Gaga, I adore her. So, it's not her. I know most of you are like, this is a paint video. Why are you spending the whole time discussing a movie? But those of you who have watched me for a while know that it is really not just a paint video. And also, as you might be noticing, the more I'm fussing around with the rest of the painting, the cells are growing. And now let's see what happens. Check it out. Oh my goodness, there are bald spots here. That is so weird. And I always resin the MDF, so I am going to have to clean this puppy so well, and most likely, from experience, I will clean it with Dawn dish soap. I have a video on that, like literally put this in the kitchen sink and wash it with Dawn. And then I will resin it, and I am sure there will be spots that I had missed. So then I will take the resined piece and wash that in the sink with the dish soap, and then resin again, and then it will be just perfect. But I already am preparing myself going into that it will be resin twice. So I know a lot of you get frustrated, you get divots from the resin, because resin and silicone they don't play well together. And so just know that you're most likely going to have to be doing it twice, and that it's not, you didn't do anything wrong or anything. It is almost impossible to, I shouldn't say that, because I've done it a few times and I'm always like, oh my gosh, but to wash it just once and that be it. I usually need to do it a couple times. All right, So how about I bring this over for comparison? Oh, owie, my back just went. All right, so there's this one. And you can tell the red did make a difference. I'll just, but a difference for the better, I would definitely say. And these are actually my favorite, just the outline cells. So to repeat, the white was only in that tiny bit of white that I put on top of the puddle. You don't need lots of silicone. Too much silicone will literally just make it greasy. So, it's so shiny though, and with the silicone you see divots before it dries, so it's hard to take a picture of it wet. But there you have it. See, you can see all of those divots are from silicone, but it'll dry flat. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you next time. Bye.